close your eyes, seek paradise, won't change your mind, can't shape the lights, I'll take the chance and roll the dice.
I didn't realize we had stopped.
Well, I had to go stuff my face with candy because I have self-control.
Nothing?
I want to protest, but I can't because it's sad.
Oh no, I'm gonna use that one.
Is your class changing depending on what people you have bound to you?
What people I have bound to me? No. What quantities and what elements? Yes.
Weird.
Schnick!
So how does that even work? Oh god, this thing hits like a truck too. Also, Ivan just got raffle stomped.
Yes, he did. Why, he's getting this.
You get the 2-ply. Ivan summons Atlanta! Yeah! That's what Atlanta's known for.
Yup.
God, why does this thing have so many hit points?
Because
is this
mimics
thing a boss
always
all on its own?
No, mimics are just difficult encounters. They're intentionally difficult encounters.
Well, thankfully it couldn't debilitate anybody.
Ha! I just insta-gibbed him with the thing, I think. Because he died awful quickly for it not to be an insta-gib.
I don't know what insta-give is.
It is a chance that some of these special weapons have of killing a thing outright regardless of its hit points. It is, oh, you are a thing, and the RNG said yes, you die.
Damn. Also, I kind of like this this setup for this dungeon. The light tricks that are going on. That's kind of neat. I did not expect that kind of design, but this is
This is not a dungeon that I will be doing anything with that specifically. Not yet, at least.
Gee, I wonder if something's supposed to be there. You can see me? Something is there, yes. Synergetic light? That's what it's called?
Wrapped in synergetic light, but that's not the name of the synergy.
Come on, mister, don't hide. Show yourself.
I can't.
Even if I wanted to, my lines go too quickly and I can't read them. As you can see, yes, you are invisible, dumbass.
Basically, he's incapable of moving at all.
I ran out of draft?
Yes.
What kind of beer is it? You wouldn't even begin to comprehend if I tried to tell you. It's premium microbrew. Your life must really suck if you're this dependent on craft beer.
This guy has been alive for hundreds of years. And they're normal humans, they don't live that long.
That's,
It's because of this draft, it's been prolonging his life.
that's some impressive microbrew.
Yes, Mom.
Excuse me. He is invalid. We must help him, yes. Out of the goodness of Ivan's heart, yes.
But you see how he's got
Totally
that...
not to skim off top of mug, yes.
Of course not. You know how, you see how he's got that white line around him? When I use the cloak synergy, which is what he's used, spoilers. When I use the cloak synergies, I get the same thing. And the only reason he's actually still invisible is because he's in the shadows. If you try and use cloak in the light, it doesn't work.
That makes sense. You turn the rocks in the right order, then
lights
puzzle
appear.
will be solved. Oh my god. Even a side quest requires just so much exposition.
The order of the colors is this. So the order of the colors is this? Yes. The colors are in this order.
We're guessing you're probably really thick, so here it is again.
Sadly, my light is not enough to actually illuminate him.
But my light is enough to eliminate him.
Yeah, we'll do that. Because these earth golems are bastards.
Quake sphere.
Those are cubes.
Also, wouldn't a quake sphere be the entire world?
Oh, good. I get access to revive now.
So you never have to use any consumables again?
Unless Isaac dies.
Isn't that typically really bad for the leader of the party to go down?
It doesn't make a difference in this game. There are some games where if your protagonist goes down, you get a game over. This is not one of them.
Yeah. This shares a similar visual style, somewhat, in character design to Shining Force and Shining Force 2. And that's a game where, oh, your party leader went down? Game over.
Yup.
Do better!
Why come you suck?
Yeah, seriously. Or that's a game, talk about long, drawn-out exposition. Holy shit, that game is like 90% talking. The other 10% is long, overblown tactical combat battles, and they suck. It's stupid hard.
Yup.
Also, any pop culture that was around during the 80s and 90s gets ripped off. Like, if it exists, it's being knocked off somehow in this game. There's just no getting around it. What do those even do?
Vials?
Yeah.
Cure a lot of hit points. Oh, I've only gotten one potion? Wow. Give it... Oh, no, I've gotten more there. Vials are 500 hit points.
Potions
Are all.
Oh shit. That's like the opposite of the normal naming scheme.
Yep.
Potion is usually like the piss weak medicine.
Potion is the you use these at the beginning of the game and then never again.
Yep. Get 99 of these things as soon as possible because it's actually cheaper than sleeping in town. Seriously, that's how Final Fantasy I did things.
Yep.
It was cheaper to carry around a gigantic barrel of potions and chug them after every battle than it was to go back to town. So, what are we looking for in here?
The draft for Dude Bro.
I thought that required finding and turning a bunch of rocks in order.
Yes, we're going to find the place where the draft, or where those rocks are, so that we can turn the rocks and get him his draft.
You know, as far as I understood it, Rolling Rock was not exactly a microbrew. That's kind of a mainstream kind of brewery thing. Are we there yet? This guy didn't really give you a good description of where this stuff was.
He said, find the rocks, turn them, there's a table, then it's on the table in the back.
The table. He could be talking about his house for all we know.
No, he did specifically say deeper in the cave.
Was that your neck?
That was my
Just
neck.
Ripped
So
with
was
a
that.
zipper, all casual like. You just lean to the side. It's like a machine gun going off. Several joints in the vertebrae. Yes, several. Like 3 joints per vertebrae. Per vertebra, I guess.
Per vertebra?
Yes, there's the one with the big squishy cartilage disc in between the main body of the vertebra. And then there are like these facets alongside the actual rounded portion that surrounds your spinal cord. Mm-hmm. Those fit in with vertebrae on top and bottom and are more different joints because the human body is not nearly complex enough no matter how much you analyze it. It's always going to get more complicated the further you look. So when you're cracking your neck like that, it could be any one of those things erupting in noise. Like when you stretch...
Or more than one at a time.
Oh, yeah. I don't... My first memory of cracking my back was actually in high school. I had my hands clasped overhead, not behind me, just overhead, and I leaned back in my chair, and then it was like a zipper going up inside my spine, just from mid-back all the way up to the back of my head, just like the world's greatest release of tension that I've ever felt my entire life, and it has never happened that way again. I think my entire life since then has been trying to return to that kind of a state. That is your thinking sound. I've convinced myself. The one with the crumbly bit on the top of the sprite is standing upright, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
If they have the crumbly bits, they're not actually moving.
That stays there.
I think this one's an angry one.
You're kind of low on magic, so it's... And Ruffle Stomp. Now, is it possible for anybody to summon anything?
Yes. The summons are based on Jinn that are not actively set to a character. So, yes, Isaac is holding all of the Venus Jinn, but he unleashes them, and then they're just kind of floating nebulously out in our vicinity. And any character
else could just be all like, "Hey, Thor, would you wreck his face, please?"
Exactly. The reason I do it the way I do is because each character has an elemental affinity. Yes, right here. This is their elemental affinities, and they're obviously more attuned to their own element.
Right.
So I have them summon their own element to get maximum damage out of it.
That makes sense. I also see that a bunch of those summons are all like, "Yeah, your element power increased," and why would
All
you
of them do
bother
that.
boosting element power for Jinn you don't have set on these people?
If you play around with some of the other classes that require different Jinn allocations, then it still makes sense for, say, Ivan to be using the Earth Jinn. But I like Ragnarok. I like the setup. Just have them with their own element and leave it that way.
That makes the most sense, if nothing else. Also, is it just me, or have the hit point values of everybody around you in this party just skyrocketed all of a sudden?
It's not quite all of a sudden. It's just I happen to be at full hit points.
You got a chicken
a bit.
cookie.
Not immediately, of course, but I spent a lot of time not at full hit points, I think.
Well, it seemed like a couple of episodes ago that your max hit points were in the hundreds, and now you're in the low 300s.
Excuse me, part of that is also the acquisition of more Jinn.
Yeah, I seemed to gather that. They're like the opposite of Materia. Materia would boost your magical capabilities and then make you really piss weak. And decrease your hit points by a matter of percentages the more you had equipped. But it couldn't have been too bad, because if you didn't have a full complement of materia, you were playing the game wrong. This game, it's, oh, you found more magical capabilities. Great, here's boosts to all of your stats.
Yup.
Which is, admittedly, kind of awesome.
Now, not every Jinn gives bonuses to all stats, but there are a couple that, excuse me, only give bonuses to a couple of them. But all Jinn give bonuses to stats.
That's a worm?
That was a worm.
That had arms and legs! That's not a worm! By definition, it's not a worm. What the hell, game? Also, are we there yet?
Almost.
We're gonna find this place in the next episode. Oh my god. We're gonna find better directions because invisible people are not the best navigators. Imagine that. Bye, everybody.
Like I'll never die. I lose my